Man, that looks so weird. Looking in the front of this camera. I started seeing my boogers before long. Ugh, my teeth. This is not good. I have to gotta raise this behind the scenes. Here we are. NASA.gov. Let's go ahead and take a look at their images. Missions. Here we go. Artemis. Go to gallery. Here we go. Let's download this. Download. AI image detector. Let's open a couple of them. Top 3 links. Upload a file. This middle one here. Digitally edited, it says. If someone were to edit camera image metadata, would a specific, sorry, I'm using terms that you may not be familiar with if you're not a camera person, like a hybrid human camera person, has some sort of genetic experiment gone horribly wrong. No, cameras record data that they embed called metadata into each photo. And that data will include things such as the camera model, the camera serial number, the lens used, focal length, shutter speed, aperture, ISO, copyright information, and sometimes proprietary information. It turns out that Nikon can embed very proprietary information called maker notes. And you'd think, well, maybe NASA would like to say, hey, we've embedded super proprietary stuff into these photos so you can absolutely know we did what we said we did. As if you could trust that, right? They're just this information that we see, the EXIF data, EXIF, on a screen when we examine a photo, looking at the metadata. Those are just things on the screen. How hard would it be to fake that, right? Anyway, the interesting thing about these photos is that while allegedly NASA used a Nikon D5 and a Nikon Z9, the photos themselves do not have any metadata, or at least the one I'm looking at for this example. You'd think they would embed something, they would leave something there. That right there is suspicious alone. Why wouldn't you have any metadata embedded? So I poked around further. Here's what I found. Embedded EXIF, essentially none. The only EXIF tag present is an EXIF offset, which is simply a pointer indicating where EXIF data would reside. There are no standard camera fields. Could metadata on this file be manipulated? Yes. And in fact, this file will be one of the easiest cases because there's almost nothing left to manipulate. There's no evidence that this is an original out-of-camera JPEG. Wow, no evidence. Okay, now does NASA say that this came from a Nikon D5? Let's go to, what's this one? Image credit NASA. It doesn't say. does not say, give us a size, no data on the camera used, nothing, okay. Possible that this image was created digitally, perhaps by AI or another tool. Yes, looking at only the image itself, I'd say it's entirely plausible that it was digitally created or heavily computer generated. The strongest clue, it resembles a physically perfect render. The image has several characteristics common to CGI renders, planetarium software, or high-quality space visualizations. The moon's surface appears uniformly sharp over a very large area. The Earth has a very clean atmospheric lighting and cloud detail. The black sky is essentially perfect with no sensor noise or compression artifacts. The lighting transition on Earth is exceptionally smooth. Interesting. None of these are impossible for a real photograph, but together they resemble computer-generated imagery. Oh, how interesting. Lack of stars is not evidence either way. Yeah, here we go. The image has a somewhat idealized appearance that can come from NASA digital terrain models, Blender, Unreal Engine, Cinema 4D, Houdini, or another rendering package. The Earth itself almost looks like a texture mapped onto a sphere. NASA routinely creates scientifically accurate renderings using satellite imagery that look almost identical to this. The JPEG compression is relatively clean. There are no obvious AI artifacts. If I had to rank the possibilities based solely on this file, CGI scientific render, high. NASA visualization or simulation, high. Real photograph that has been processed, resized, moderate. AI generated image is possible. Original camera JPEG straight from a Nikon, very unlikely. The reason I rank AI generated lower than CGI scientific render is that the image has excellent geometric consistency. AI image generators often struggle with precise planetary geometry. Well, big surprise, right? It's likely some sort of render, some sort of manipulation. It's so strange to me that, a few weeks ago I was checking that image, and unfortunately I didn't turn on my stupid camera, and it came back as likely AI or likely human generated. Not human taken with a camera, that was the context. I mean, human manipulated. Okay, so Shmups put out a video all about microphone preamps. It was a YouTube video, and I don't know if you wanted my comments on it or what. Shmups, I'm sorry I haven't finished watching that video all the way yet. We had Zach saying it was fun. He felt like he was there regarding the race car photography video. Yeah, I'm glad. I like wearing the GoPro, and that's fun. I think it presents kind of just a cool first-person view. So Ham Question tells me, jealous you got the media vest and everything. Unfortunately, they won't let me near the cars with my camera. Yeah, it was a trip. I had never done a media type event like that. Herschel said, man, how many kidneys did you have to sell to our greatest ally for that zoom lens? Well, thankfully, Herschel, I rented that lens because I do not have the $3,100 to buy that lens currently. Okay, back to the comments. Now, Shmups had mentioned that he's watching the X-Files now. Shmups, I'm curious to know what you think of it. I like that show. Not all the episodes, of course, but that was an entertaining show to watch. Of course, there are a bunch of, the actors themselves in real life are kind of Hollywood morons. Big surprise. Teordolf said on the video regarding ticks, he was sharing that video on Facebook. I think that's great. People need to understand hope is not lost with these things. These evil people are cunning and they're total dirtbags, but they're also freaking retards too. Yeah, Ham Question also replied in another video, good to see you out there hustling, brother, to which I replied, thanks. It's exhausting though. Man, it sure is. I work a stupid amount of hours, and it's difficult. We're all trying to survive in this stupid world where the currencies are failing. And That's evidenced by, what we all experience when we go to the grocery stores.